Hey, chat room. We should be live
What's
now.
up?
What is going on? I can't quite see who's in there yet because we're not live, and it doesn't tell you that stuff until the 60-second delay is up.
Right, yeah.
Man, it's so frustrating. It makes it so much harder to talk with your chat room. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I think I'm having a little bit of delay. Sorry.
No, no worries. Let's see. Is there anything I need to fix really quick before we actually go live? Should probably move you to the correct spot in the camera. There we go. Do we have anybody in the chat room tonight? Low worker Tahu normally is here. Nags was complaining that you weren't here for the 2 or 3 weeks you were gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just me and Rem tonight. David is out enjoying his life at a ski resort, and Xantar is working for the man.
Working for the man.
And stacks and packs as well. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta earn that dollar somehow. So,
I don't think we really have any announcements or anything for the chat room. We missed last week. We apologize. It was just gonna be me and David didn't want to feel all newbie, and we're like the two newbie-ish of the group. So it's like, we'll give people a break, and we might have some stuff to talk about soon.
yeah, the holidays were kind of crazy for me, so.
Yeah, it was fun to get a week off and kind of get into it. With that, I think we're gonna get ready to record episode number 8.
Let's do it.
Okay, you have Audacity ready, right?
I do.
So, 3, 2, 1, record.
Welcome to the Nexus, the podcast for the heroes of Blizzard Entertainment.
Hello, heroes! Thank you all for tuning in to episode number 8 of The Nexus. As always, I'm your host, Adam Eastwood, and today we're going to two-man this. Hold on. My recording isn't working.
But I'm not a man.
Oh, then I have to fix it. Hold on. Oh, I had this stupid microphone.
I think it's still going. Looks like it's still going
No,
on the
my Audacity wasn't working.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. You know what it is I've been testing out this mic here, trying to get it to work, and just for streaming, and I tried to record it, and that's the only time it worked is through Audacity. It's weird. So if you want to cancel Audacity, we'll go at this again. We're a little rusty, I guess.
I guess so. We took too long of a break here.
Hey, Ro. We'll say hi. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, record.
Welcome to the Nexus, the podcast for the heroes of Blizzard Entertainment.
Hello, heroes. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8 of The Nexus. As always, I am your host, Adam Eastwood, and this week we're going to two-person this episode like it's our job. So with me this week is the Holy Pally by day and Hearthstone Pally by night, Remedies.
Hello, hello, that is me. And I'm here with, it's just me and you, Adam. It's just me and you.
Just the two of us.
That's all right. We'll still have fun.
So we haven't done a show in about 2 weeks. What has your gaming been in the...
Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't game much through the week before and the week after Christmas, but after Christmas was over, I came home, I played some Diablo, I played some Hearthstone, I played some World of Warcraft, and I even managed to squeeze in a game of League with Xantar just a couple of days ago. We played together. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter, and I was very upset. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends, but it's all been solo queuing and playing different roles and stuff, which has been fun. But I've been dying to play with my friends. Because that's what it's all about. No,
We missed having you.
Yeah, it's been crazy with the holidays. I know in World of Warcraft, I kind of got the bug to DPS. So luckily, we actually found a new tank for my raid team, and we've been short DPS, so I've been DPSing there. and I've been building up my warlock because I want to give that a shot. That's been my
Nice.
gaming.
Warlock. Ew.
Well, I was thinking mage, but my warlock was 85, so I can get him up to 90 faster than my
Oh,
level
gotcha.
30 mage.
Yeah, I've been leveling alt with my brother in World of Warcraft. I recruit-a-friended him, one of my 4 brothers. This is the second brother that's getting into WoW now. So we've been having fun. He's leveling a druid, and I'm leveling a mage.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a lot of fun.
Mages are fun to level, just staying away and
Yes,
blowing
they are.
things up.
Yeah.
That's in Heroes. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with a mage character, either like Antonidas or Jaina.
Right.
What
It's
is
going
it,
to be
Khadgar?
interesting.
He's another mage.
Khadgar would be a really cool one to see.
Oh,
Because he's
Ronan.
like the mage of all mages, though. You know, like Khadgar is like if mages had gods, Khadgar is like the god of mages.
I thought that was supposed to be like Malagos, like the
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right.
No, but it'll be interesting to see how they kind of separate maybe an arcane mage, a fire mage, and like an ice mage or a frost mage.
Right. That would be cool, yeah.
So it'll be exciting. So Rem, we haven't seen you in a little bit. A little bit it's been going on. I know we had the Q&A since the last time you've been here. We've asked the other hosts, so now it's your turn. Was there anything in the Q&A that really stuck out to you?
Nothing that really, I guess, stuck out. I guess the biggest thing you guys kind of already talked about it was the emotes that the characters are going to have. You know, Arthas is going to do the waltz and just like the little things like that. I've always loved about Blizzard games, so I'm glad to see that they're doing something in Heroes that is, you know, minute, but it's like really cool, like something really cool that we get to see. And other than that, I feel like a lot of it was kind of regurgitated information, stuff that we already knew from the BlizzCon panels. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of regurgitated. I thought there was some clarification like we had talked about before. Kind of like I forget if you were here for when we were talking about team levels, and they kind of talked about that a lot, which was very nice. I was super excited. One thing that actually that they had talked about that I haven't touched on at all, and something that's been really annoying me this week in League of Legends is player disconnects. Did you get a chance to kind of hear that portion of the Q&A?
I mean, I remember it. I'm trying to jog my memory because it feels like it was so long ago since I watched it. And I sat there and transcribed the whole thing too. That was fun. They said that there was going to be some kind of like a penalty or something, right? Jog my memory here.
Mm-hmm. So there would be a penalty to your XP if you're disconnecting too often. Kind of make sure that people aren't leaving game intentionally, but it doesn't. I think they were saying you don't get it like right away, so it still saves for that little bit of time that it's actually your computer that's not letting you in. The ability to reconnect, I think, it has to be there. I mean, that's League of Legends has it. Because if they're not keeping the things that work well for League of Legends, then I think they're going to have an issue. So I think that was really cool. I think the big thing, and really, when a disconnect happens in League of Legends, what's the first thing you think of, Rim?
We're screwed.
We're screwed because you're either playing 4v5. If it's 2 disconnects, you're playing 3v5, and it's really hard to kind of catch up at that point.
Yeah.
But I guess they're working on a AI.
That would be lovely. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Even if it's like easy mode AI, it's still better than not having a player on your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think that's the biggest problem with like solo queuing and not like say getting your own 5 friends. Is you run into the problem where if everybody calls their lane early game, before the game starts, you get the battle plan going, and then someone disconnects and completely screws it up, so you can't really do something that you're supposed to.
Right. Yeah.
I really, in terms of news, that's about it right now. We're gonna kind of hit into a few of our other segments. Everything's gonna be a little shorter today, just because we don't have everybody, and really there's not a lot of news going out right now. So we're gonna head into our new hero segment.
Heroes here! No heroes needed here! No heroes wanted!
Here, I'm gonna fix that and send the right one and fix it in post editing.
This is the Hero Spotlight.
Now, just like every week, we're gonna take the time to go over one hero and kind of go into his abilities, into his lore, and really spotlight them. This week, we're gonna be talking about Tassadar. He's a Protoss player. Now,
I love him.
you
Sorry.
love him? It's because you love Protoss.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes. I just wanted to interrupt you so I could say that. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
And no worries. Well, unfortunately, we don't have David this week to kind of go over the lore, and he's really good at this compared to me. So everyone, please let's hold on and bear with me. So any of you who have played the original StarCraft, that's where you really get all of his story. You know, he does make a little appearance in the memories section of Wings of Liberty, but if you want to get the full story of him, you kind of go play the game. But I'll give you kind of the highlights and what makes him so great. He's a High Templar from in the Protoss, and those who have played StarCraft 2 but not StarCraft 1, there was a time when there was a division between the High Templar and the Dark Templar. They didn't really quite get along. I think for a while, if I remember right, the Dark Templar were in hiding, and they were like myths at some point. What I know is that during the original StarCraft, he was sent on orders to purge planets of the Zerg, and basically that was his crusade. If you kind of think of him almost as like a paladin who's killing evil in the Zerg, you know.
That's right.
Yes. And one of the big things was he was told to purge Terran no matter what. And he kind of fought that. And I think that's what kind of really made him a really cool character was he met up with Raynor and I think Minx as well and was like, you know what? I can't destroy all these Terran even if they are already infected. And that's what kind of led him to be on the wrong side of the Protoss civil war that happened during the kind of StarCraft time frame, where he actually found the Dark Templars and brought them over. In the end, you know, he teams up and fights the Zerg invasion, the Overmind, and I won't tell everyone his fate if you haven't already known it, because I'm just going to say, hey, go and play StarCraft, because that is, you know, you're going to see the whole story, and much better than I can ever, like, talk about it, like, here.
Right. And, you know,
Sorry.
it's okay. I was just going to say, you know, to be honest, because I understand that there are people out there that, for whatever reason it may be, I'm not judging you, but if you don't want to play through StarCraft because maybe you don't like RTSs or something like that, you can always watch the videos on YouTube. Usually somebody will take all of like the cutscenes and including like the mission briefs and then post-mission events and stuff like that, and like just put it in one straight video that you can watch. So those are a good secondary choice, but nothing beats playing the game. But if you're not into that, you can still do that.
And there's always the Wikipedia as well, where kind of like I got my jogged memory. You know, another thing I remember, it's really cool, is that as a character, he's conflicted with what he was taught his entire life and what he's supposed to do, and then what he really feels is the right thing to do, which I think makes for some, you know, really good characters, especially in video games.
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk about his abilities a little bit. Now, he's the first hero that has, they always call it a heroic talent, but he has actually like an ability, not just like a passive, non-activated ability. He actually has another ability, so he uses another key. He can activate it to increase the vision range and see fog of war for a period of time. I think that'll be pretty powerful. What do you think, Ren?
I like that. I like being able to know things ahead of time, you know, be like kind of sneaky. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, because vision is super important in Heroes of the Storm. It's, or will be in Heroes of the Storm if it's anything like League of Legends, because sometimes you don't quite know where all your enemies are at, and knowing what they're planning is key to really winning a game and doing well.
Right. And then he has a pretty cool ability called Guardian Shield, where he's going to protect an ally, giving them a shield, protecting them from damage. So kind of your typical pally shield or, very heroic, I'm going to shield you type ability, negating damage. So that's pretty standard and very good.
Yeah, like you said, he kind of really plays almost like a stealth paladin, actually, because he also has the ability to make his allies go invisible and invulnerable for 2 seconds. So, really going to be able to pull his, allies out of a fight that,
Nice.
something might not be going too well. I've called it cloaking because that kind of fits with the whole theme of the Protoss. They're not really going invisible. They're using high technology to do what they want.
Right. And then, excuse me, and then he will have a force field where Tassadar is going to create a dome at a target location. So this is good. You can kind of plop it down and, hope, because I think how it's going to work is any enemies inside of that dome are going to be damaged and slowed. So you can use this kind of I think that this is where they're going to walk. So you use your vision and then you see them, you plop the dome down, bam, they get slowed and damaged. And it's going to be very good.
Now he's going to have 2 options for his ultimate ability, his heroic ability, you might call it. He's going to have a force wall where he summons a wall at a target location which blocks all movement. That really will help if, they're trying to, say, siege a tower and they don't want people to come through the gates. You can plop it there so that way he kind of keeps control of the towers with his teammates. The other option will be Archon Warp, where he'll actually just become an Archon and he'll be able to increase his attack, damage, and armor. I think it's going to be important to know who you're going to be playing with as Tassadar, because you'll have to know if you need a little more damage. If there's, say, an Uther on the same team as you, you need to play Tassadar because you really don't know anyone else, but somebody else needs to play another support. You can kind of play a little damage
Right.
I'm hoping, and this is kind of just to kind of give them some options. In terms of how these abilities kind of show off in his character in the movies and the other games, is they really kind of pick and choose different abilities from different Protoss units. I mean, the Archon Warp is the High Templar ability that we see often. Turns the Templar into a support character in the game to a damage dealing character in StarCraft. We see a force field and cloaking are really, even the Guardian Shield are more like sentry units that get to use those, right, Rem? Because you're a Protoss player.
Yes.
You're a little more knowledgeable on that than me.
And all of it is very, very Protoss-y type of stuff, for lack of a better term. It's pretty much, they have their technology to do this kind of stuff, to make energy force fields and cloaking devices and all of that kind of stuff. So it's very, very Protoss signature, and I really like it because it seems like he's gonna play, like like you said, a rogue paladin. Like, you're doing good, but you're still being sneaky about it. So I like that. Good.
Now, do you think by taking abilities off, say, the Sentry and other Protoss units, it's going to make them difficult for them to actually maybe make a Sentry hero? Because they're having a siege tank hero, which means they're not against bringing in just units and making hero versions of them. Do you think that's going to cause some problems, too much overlap?
It's possible, but from what we see here, they can take elements from other aspects of, I guess, lore and stuff like that, and find a way to make it work. So if they wanted a Sentry character, a Sentry-based character, I don't see why they couldn't find other aspects to focus in on and hone in on and make abilities out of those.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait, really, to see what they're going to do once they get into the larger number of heroes. We're only really looking at 18 right now.
Right.
Come, a year or two after launch, if League of Legends and Dota and even the new Infinite Crisis game has anything to show for it, and that's in beta, they're going to have 40, 50 characters in no time.
I agree.
Which will be very exciting. Rem, did you get a chance to take a look at the Mecha Tassadar?
Yes, and it is awesome. I like it. I really do.
You like it?
Seeing him kind of Oh my gosh, I watched this show when I was a kid, and I know this is probably not even remotely based on it, but I watched the show as a kid, and I think it was called Voltron. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where like they were cats, but then they would make this like mega mecha robot thing. This is so ridiculous, I know. But
It's actually not ridiculous.
but yeah, so I like that kind of stuff. I always have. There's all kinds of, I guess, kids shows and comic books and stuff based on mecha robots. I'm sure everybody has heard of Transformers, and I don't know, I think it's so cool. It's super awesome.
It really has that, like, when in terms of specifics, it has that Gundam look to it. I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever seen
Gundam. Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
awesome.
He looks like when, like you were saying, Voltron. If we
Yeah.
got once all the cats got put together.
Yeah. I love it.
Now, is there any skins that you can think of directly that you might be want to see from him?
I think based on a little bit of his lore. Now, I don't know if they're going to make this character into Heroes of the Storm already, but I think a Velen type of skinned Tassadar would be really cool to see. I don't know why. It just really sticks out in my mind seeing something like that. Velen from World of Warcraft, and if anybody doesn't know who he is, he's like the spiritual leader of the Draenei, a race in Warcraft, and yeah, I don't know. Tassadar's lore and history and stuff kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a connection there. So seeing him like Prophet Velen, oh my gosh, Prophet Velen skinned type, I don't know, I think that would be really cool. I don't know how you would pull that off, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It depends on if they plan on doing Velen as his own hero.
Right, yeah, and
Like
that's what
we've
I was
said
saying.
before,
Yeah.
the idea of like just putting a skin, because I kind of want to see him in like the big shoulders of a paladin armor.
Oh, that would be cool, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I was really thinking like Diablo wise, and he would, if they did like almost like an archangel skin of him, if they kind of build into the Diablo side. I think that's where he would fit in a little more.
Okay.
I know in StarCraft 2 we saw him as kind of the ghost,
Yeah.
because it's like the psi energy, where they're like, technically he's not dead, but we think he's dead. And I think I just ruined it for people because, as I said, I wasn't gonna say it earlier, but I think that'd be another cool skin, just like a floating, psi energy skin.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of options available, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Gosh, the mecha one is just so cool though. I'm looking at it right now. It's awesome.
Yes, everyone should head over and take a look at the Mecha Tassadar, because it is pretty awesome.
Ultron. That's all I think of when I look at it. Okay.
Do you have any other last minute thoughts about this hero?
No, I'm trying to think of all of the StarCraft heroes that we have. We have Nova and Raynor and Kerrigan and Tassadar and Zeratul. Are there any other Zerg heroes confirmed right now? Because I'm thinking that the balance of them all is off. We have 2 Protoss, 2 Terran, and 1 Zerg. Am I wrong?
No, I think you are correct. I'm like trying to think about it, and then I decided to pull up the list. But yeah, there's only 1 Zerg. I think oh no, Abathur. There's 2 Zergs.
Oh, I totally forgot about Abathur. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so the balance has been restored.
Yeah, I mean the funny thing is, Abathur is kind of the one that I'm really looking forward to playing, because he's so
Right,
different than
yeah.
everyone.
Totally forgot about him.
Yeah, but you kind of forget that he's Zerg, because Zerg have so few like heroes that you're
Right.
like, oh, they don't have a hero there.
Yeah, now I can think in like if we're just really quick, as far as like them adding more Zerg characters to the game, I can think of like a few random encounters, especially in Heart of the Swarm, I believe. There was the one see, I can't remember their names, but there are a couple more in lore, like minor Zerg characters. Most of them were like Hive Queens. Well, there was a couple of Hive Queens
The
in
Zerg
the
Queens,
lore. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that all pans out. Them adding more characters and stuff.
And actually, that you mentioned, there's all the primal Zerg in the Heart of the Swarm expansion that could fit it because they all kind of had like a little more, sense of individuality, and I think that's what the Zerg like miss a little bit when we're talking like individual heroes because they all are a hive mind for more or less.
Right.
And now with the primal Zerg, they are all separate individuals, and with obviously Kerrigan, she was like the first individual of the Zerg swarm.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
it will be. So we're gonna go ahead and move into our new hero spotlight. Our new hero section.
Heroes here, no heroes needed here, no heroes wanted.
Now this week we're gonna talk about the support class or classes in general. Kind of some quick tips. I thought that was really perfect having Rem back this week as she plays pretty much all support. I don't think I've played with Rem and she hasn't played support except for when it's a random character generated game.
Right. Yeah. I don't really play any other role in League. That is, and I don't play many other MOBAs. So yeah.
So there are really two main types of supports for those of you that are new to MOBAs. In the end, there are a couple other offshoots, but we're going to keep it pretty simple. One type is kind of the tanky support. These are characters that are going to be able to take a lot of damage. They have abilities to really kind of move into combat quickly or keep enemies CC'd in order to help protect the AD carry that is usually with the hero at the time.
That's right. And for anyone who's looking to get into League of Legends, one tanky type of, well, I don't know if you would really pin her as support, but she is definitely a tank character that I think would be really fun for new players to play and check out because she's so awesome, is a character called Shivara. She turns into a freaking dragon. This chick is awesome and loads of fun to play. A little bit with a learning curve she comes with, but it's not too terrible and she's fun. She turns into a dragon. So if you're going to play League and look for a tank, then that would be the one I would suggest trying. But anyways, so the other... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Shivara is pretty cool, tanky feel. There's another character called Alistar.
Oh, yeah, he's cool.
The Minotaur that people like. And her name, Leona.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I love Leona. I freaking love her. Freaking love her.
Yeah, so if you kind of want to try out kind of the tanky feel, jump into League of Legends. Hopefully one of these are available at that time. You kind of played around. Oh, Tarek. How can I forget Tarek? I played him for so long.
I'm not a fan of him, but no, he's good.
Yeah, and he's a little mix between the tanky feel, but also the other type that Rem's going to talk about right now.
Right. So the secondary type of support class is more standard, more common fare, and they are the healing or shielding type of hero or character. And they basically have abilities that heal your allies' health pools, and then they have shielding abilities, or sometimes, like Sona, a character in League of Legends, they have abilities where they can give other players buffs. So yeah, those are your two basic types of support characters, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And I've been playing a kind of the Healy type support character lately. I've been playing Soroka. I don't know what she's supposed to be, but she basically like a star child, I call her. And I don't know if that's like her nickname or whatnot.
I think that's what they call her.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she fits it. She heals. She has an ability that can either silence an enemy or actually kind of give your allies more mana, which really helps. So you're also going to see supports having the ability to kind of keep their carries and their teammates in the game longer. So you have to make the decision, do you give mana to your ally or do you silence your enemy? And the less that your carry, your friend who you're kind of in the bottom lane with, has to go back, the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in my opinion, game MOBAs, like League of Legends particularly, are games about not dying. Like, the less you die, the better your chance, the less anyone on your team dies, the better your chance of victory is, like, no joke. And typically, if you are on the side where, you're keeping somebody alive, that you're a support, and you have somebody in that lane with you, if you can keep them alive regardless of what's going on, you're more likely to turn the tides of battle. So,
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
And one thing that you want to do as a support is you want to really place down wards. I think this season of League of Legends, it's not as important, but you still want to make sure you're putting them down, because everyone gets a trinket ward, where basically a ward is something you can put down and you get vision of an area. Now, before, you actually had to spend gold on them, and that was the only way of getting them, so the support kind of had to take the gold deficit and make sure to ward specific areas, so that way they knew where the enemies were coming from. Now that everyone gets a trinket that lets you place down a ward, everyone kind of joins in and helps a little bit, but it's still a good idea to either get one or two, just in case, because you don't want to get ganked or jumped when you can least expect it. For sure.
Right. And words are very, very, very important. Don't forget your words. Actually, sometimes I forget mine all the time, but that's because I am bad. Anyways, the other thing to remember if you're going to try playing a support character is that you are not there to kill things, generally speaking, especially minion kills, while you are helping your carry, your friend in the lane with you, and usually in the bottom lane, and they are fighting minions. You can help damage them if you want. It's kind of not always necessary, but regardless, don't be the last one to hit the minion, because then the experience and the gold will go to you, thus kind of nullifying the point of making your carry, the person that you're there with, very, very strong, so that he can kill, or she can kill all of the enemy players. So it sucks because it's a crappy position to be in, I guess. It took me a long time to really fathom that and wrap myself around that concept, but once you get it, it's a lot better if you can just always make sure your carry, the other person that you're with, is getting all the minion kills, all of the last hits on them. Then they get very, very strong, and all you have to do is just heal them, shield them, give them buffs or whatever, and keep them alive. Luckily, in Heroes of the Storm, this isn't as big of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the best part about it is that we're not going to have to worry about that at all.
Right. Yes.
In Heroes of the Storm. I mean, they're completely taking away the last hit mechanic, and you're not going to get yelled at. I mean, people should be, telling new players this stuff. Hey, you're a support. You're not supposed to kill the minions. But all it turns out into people calling you a kill stealer, or and being generally angry about it.
Yeah. So
I think if you're playing with someone and say you're not a support and you're kind of the AD carry, or somebody who just likes to kind of deal damage in the bottom lane, if your support's killing every one of your minions, just let them know what's going on, because they could be a player that's pretty new and just need to learn the game a little bit better. I mean, we've all been there.
I agree.
So, and the kind of the last tip we have for today is really overall just help your carry. When it comes down to it, the two of you need to really work well as a team if you're going to win the lane. And in the end, if you don't do that, you're just going to lose the match, because it's very important that you two are better than the two that you're going up against. If the carry wants you to be a little more aggressive, if you're kind of the tanky, or even if you're a healer type, he wants you to be a little more aggressive, you kind of want to follow his lead in order to kind of stay together. If he goes out on his own and dies, yeah, it's kind of his fault maybe for pushing too far, but if you could have been there to help him even a little bit and kept him alive, that's a team game. That's what you're supposed to do, is help them. That being said, there's no reason why you can't kind of say, hey, maybe we should do it this way, and they can't listen. But they're kind of the lead, and you're kind of the follow, I feel. Would you agree with that, Ren?
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I think that playing a sport, especially in a MOBA like League of Legends, it's all about being, for lack of a better way to say it, but just being a very submissive person and not getting butthurt so much about kind of, because you're playing your part. Everybody has a role in this game. This game is very, very role specific. Know your role and do your job, and then you'll win. So supports have a very specific job, and that is to do one thing, and that is to keep the carry alive. And with that comes all the territory of not being a kill stealer, not being aggressive, not being crazy or dragging attention or anything. Like, you have to be very, very submissive. I think that's the best way to explain the support character with, and I know people probably don't like me using that term, but that's kind of what it is.
One thing kind of keep in mind too is it's important to kind of learn what kind of characters and are kind of going on with you, the carries, to know if that character plays a little more aggressive or a little more stand back-ish. Because if you kind of go in and just your character, you're going to constantly, maybe not be in the right place at the right time. So if, kind of as you're playing, learn the other characters that you're playing with more often, because you're going to find there are certain people that people love to play, and whether it's because they're OP or just because they're a very popular character, you should know their abilities and how they work, so you know how it kind of synergizes with your abilities.
That's right.
Because it's super important, because kind of work together. And that's kind of talking about the lane and the kind of all our tips there. One thing I kind of forgot to kind of put in there is when it kind of gets to the end of the game and there's a lot of team fights going on as a support, you gotta fight the urge to kind of go off and chase other enemy heroes that are kind of running away from the group, because you're not going to win a one-on-one fight with them, but you staying with the group will help your group and your team win that team fight. The urge to kind of go off and kill somebody who might be like a lame duck running away is there, but it's kind of not your job, so you kind of have to bring it back and stay with the team.
Yes.
I think those are all the tips we have for you support characters today. We're going to get into our question section.
Yay!
Questions.
Now this week we don't really have too much, and we don't have any questions, but we are introducing our new segment. Basically, we're going to get themes, and we're going to kind of pick a hero and a theme to go along with that hero. Pick a theme, and then we kind of pick heroes to kind of go along with it, with what we'd like to see. So this week we kind of have the theme of classic movie monsters. So Rem, of all the heroes that we know of so far, is there one that you would mix with a movie monster to make like a skin that you would buy no matter what?
Yes, I would. I mean, I can think of a couple. I'm just trying to match movie monster with which hero it would work the best with. But there's oh my gosh. So I don't remember what movie it's from. I want to say it's a Frankenstein movie, but there's The Bride of Frankenstein. Yes, The Bride of Frankenstein. Could you not imagine a super cool Kerrigan as The Bride of Frankenstein? That would be really cool. And then, could you think of who could be a werewolf? There's all kinds of classic werewolf movies. I just can't really think of which hero would pull off a werewolf very well.
I'm thinking, and I can't help, and it's probably because the Druids of the Pack kind of fit into that kind of werewolf theme.
Right.
So I can't help but think Malfurion as a werewolf, and that's kind of stepped in the lore of Druids anyway. So it would be pretty cool to see that happen.
Right.
I can't really think of anybody else that would really fit into that kind of werewolf theme.
And then Theondon says in the chat room, Gen, which is Gen Greymane, if that's what he's mentioning, who is already a Worgen character from World of Warcraft. He could very well become a hero in Heroes of the Storm anyway, so...
Yes.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of classic, scary movie monsters.
So,
all I've got is Frankenstein for you.
well, you have Bride Frankenstein. what oddly enough isn't. Anyways, I have Frankenstein monster. You know, you'd have to do Stitches, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, he's
What were you
already.
gonna say about my Bride of Frankenstein?
No, I was making fun of me.
Oh,
I was
okay.
because I was gonna call him Frankenstein Stitches, and technically it's the
You kind of
Frankenstein's
are.
monster.
Yeah.
You know, well, because you know people pick on other people for calling it the monster Frankenstein, so I didn't want to fall into that trap today.
Right. Okay, I see.
You know, you could also see something like either Zeratul, any of the kind of Protoss characters I could see like wrapped up in mummy gauze.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. You know what I just thought of too? A Rainer, Count Dracula Rainer. Like that would be cool. I think.
Or Illidan. Illidan might be
Or
cool.
Illidan would be a good.
Dracula.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That would be a really good one.
Yeah, that it's so cool because there's so many kind of classic monsters out there, and we have a lot of heroes that we can kind of go through.
Yeah.
That you know, I think one of the most exciting thing is skins, is seeing what they're going to put out and when
I
they're going to put them out.
I get so excited over skins. It's going to be one of those games where they're going to just freaking like there's going to be a post on their website. This is the new skin coming this month, and I'm just going to tweet something like shut up and take my money right now, you know?
I know some people that basically might as well have their bank accounts linked directly to Blizzard, so that way, you know, they get their paycheck in and the paycheck goes out to get all the skins that came out that week.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just exciting because you know it adds some diversity to the game as well.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
okay, well, with that, I believe it's gonna do it for us tonight. A little quicker show than usual, but we still had some fun talking skins, talking Tassadar. Rem, where is everybody able to find you in terms of podcast, writing, whatever you're up to?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter. That's probably the easiest thing to see everything that I'm up to. I am on Twitter at Remedyz, and I run Blizzmaster. We are launching something so super awesome. If we could just work out some stupid kinks on the back end stuff, but I won't drag on about that. But so we're about to have team gaming soon, and I do the Blizzmaster show, which is the official show for Blizzmaster.com, and that's pretty much it here on the Nexus. And I can't believe I always forget to mention this. You can hear me on Realm Maintenance. I do the podcast news with Ro. So yeah, there's that.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Geek of Random. I don't know if you said your Twitter.
I did.
You did. Sorry, I missed it.
Okay.
But I'll say it again. It's Remedyz. On Monday nights, every other Monday starting next week, you can catch me on that Random Geekcast. We're kind of new format, so we're ready to kind of go forward with that now. You can reach the show directly at the Nexus Podcast, or you can email the show at heroesofthenexus.com. You know, send us your questions, send us kind of your theme ideas now that we kind of showed you guys what's up with that. You can download it directly on the website. You can go to Twitch to watch us later on, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Windows Marketplace, all the essential places to download a podcast. One thing I really want to mention over on the Blizzmaster forums is the Get Buffed World of Warcraft Weight Loss Challenge that I'm a part of with Agathon and Navox and Cage of Hell. We've already kind of kicked it off. I say come on over, take a look. There's a chance at winning a Warlords of Draenor collector's edition. You can find out how there, and you can kind of see our weight losses as well. I've been doing pretty well. I'm very excited for what's going on. I want to thank Blizzmaster for having us as part of their network. It's a great time of a bunch of great people. And everyone just have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, stop.
I need to think of something to say goodbye to because I always sound like the guy from, I want to say it's The Simpsons or Family Guy or something. Every time I say that, it makes me think of that. But anyways, I apologize, everyone. I have like shaky camera tonight because I'm on my laptop, and my laptop is on my lap because it's a laptop, duh. But I'm in my living room. Briefly, I'll explain because I told Adam it's a really long story, but we're kind of renovating. I don't know, something's wrong with the bathroom and it's bad, so I can't use my bedroom. Um, I can't do anything. It's my office in there. My office is inside of my bedroom. Anyways, long story short, it's a disaster in there. It's a disaster zone. So, fun stuff.
What do you guys in the chat room think of our kind of the theme, character skin theme section? Do you guys think it's something we should continue to do? Does it bore you? I'm kind of curious, just to kind of find out. I like it. It's
You're
fun.
not asking me, but I love it.
Well, Rem, I know you love it.
But I'm a skin whore, so.
While we kind of wait for that catch up, that's really about it for this week. I mean, I'm excited to get some more news. I think sometime in the next week or two, probably 2 weeks, I think we're gonna try, or I'm gonna try to get you guys in and to try that casting of the one without casters. Of Heroes
Oh,
of
the
Storm.
matches. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to do that. I just don't have time.
Yeah, at some point we need to do it though.
Right.
Otherwise, we're gonna lose our street cred.
Yeah, I know. We need to do it.
Yeah. One of them's already pre-casted by Husky and Duskin Browder, and that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
The one that's uncasted, I watched that, and they had Sergeant Hammer. I was very excited.
Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, the siege engine.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Okay. Oh, I get it. Alrighty.
Yeah.
I had a derp moment. I apologize.
On the episode that before I watched it, when it came out, I was like, oh, I really hope they show something different that we haven't seen before, like maybe
Right.
the siege engine, and he was there. So exciting. I loves me some siege engines. Of course, I play Zerg, which,
Ew. You play Zerg?
Yep.
Oh, hey, so I have a question actually. Who would you say you typically main in League? Because every time we play together, you're playing somebody different. Although we technically tend to play a lot of ARAMs.
Mhm.
But, like, who would you say you usually main? I'm sure you've mentioned it before and I've just forgotten.
It's been crazy lately with me because I've been trying to make sure I know all the different roles, so that way I can kind of talk about them better. But if I had to pick one that I could play, it'd be Lee Sin,
Lee Sin. Oh,
the
okay.
blind monk.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed jungling with him. It's a lot of fun.
I can't jungle to save my life. I can't do anything but support, and I'm not very good at that either.
I want to get Udyr because he looks like a fun jungler.
Oh, I like Udyr. Yeah, he's
seems-
cool.
And he has that like. Have you ever looked at what are they called, legendary skins?
Yes,
The ones
yes.
with like extra particles and like.
Yeah, and they're like
craziness.
3,000 riot points or something like that, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Blizzard needs to get on this because if they put out like some of the skins that are even close to that quality, I saw someone playing with it the other day. They're gonna make a lot of money.
I just hope that they're not, like, to be honest with you, and I know, like, I probably sound like everybody else out there who wants everything in life to be cheaper, but I really hope that skins in Heroes are not as expensive as they are in Leagues. Because
I agree.
I don't make a lot of money. Actually, I don't make any money at all. My family and all that, we don't make a lot of money, so yes.
Mhm.
Cheaper skins,
Cheaper
please.
skins. I think, like you said, cheaper skins. I don't know if I want the. I don't know. I kind of like how League does it, where you can't buy skins with the in-game currency that you make.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
It
like
makes-
that because it's
yeah.
like, hey, you have to really support the game to get this benefit.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strong
And
supporter.
it's all cosmetic. It's not anything game changing.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of, like, even though games are free to play, if you like them, to give the people some money.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need to do something. They need to make money. Like, period. Like, if they don't make any money, eventually they're just gonna stop making the game. So from time to time, I like to buy like a skin here or there. And,
Oh yeah, I'm the same way.
like,
I mean, I just bought Unmasked Kale a couple of weeks ago, and I freaking love it. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no. I was gonna say the same thing. I think it was like, I have like the skin for Lee Sin, the traditional one, because he used to have one skin, and then they redid the character model and changed it, but then you could buy the old skin.
Yeah, they did that to a lady character also. I just can't remember her name, but I read a lot of articles about it, and oh my gosh, I wish I could remember who it was. Regardless, they did the same thing to her. They changed her like basic skin into something else, and then made the old basic skin available for purchase. So, yeah.
Yes, and I don't know. I've been playing. You know, it's funny. I don't know why I go back. I've been playing a lot of Twisted Fate too. Now that I think about it. He's like Gambit. He kind of throws the cards.
Oh, yeah. I remember you played him with me actually. That like 2 matches in a row that we just got ruffle stomped, but I was performing very poorly those matches as your support. I remember that because I was like, "Oh, dude, you're like Gambit." We're playing together on Skype.
Yeah, I'm a lot better with him now.
Well, I was terrible, so most of that was my fault. I was just being a terrible support.
And you know who else they did? Trundle, the ice troll guy. He used to be like a little guy, like that all like bulbous stuff all over his face, and then they turned him into this big like ice troll.
Yeah.
They kind of took a little less, made him less jokey of a character. I think a lot of people are happy with that. They redid all his abilities too, which was cool.
I would say the only characters that I feel like I'm like familiar with, like I know how to play Kale. I play her a lot. I really like her. She's like a paladin with wings, and she's freaking awesome. She's like a paladin angel. I don't know. She's so cool. And then I play a lot of Sona as well, which is why I talk about her all the time. I really like that she's really unique in the sense of like the game mechanics. There aren't many other characters like her, but she's not really unique as far as like just general fantasy goes. She's your typical bard, you know, so you see that a lot in like other fantasy games, a bard character. So she's not really unique as far as like bending the rules of what bards are like, but she's unique in that there aren't many characters in League of Legends like her, which is why I like her a lot. And then I played Soraka, which you said you've been playing, and I'm not a fan of her. It's probably because I'm not very good at playing her. But yeah, so I've played Soraka a lot, trying to get good at her. But I don't like her playstyle. It's not for me.
Have you played Leona at all?
I have played Leona. To me, she feels more like a tanky like character. I know she's like tank primary and then secondary support, but I can't quite figure out how to play her like a support character. So yeah,
it's tough. I find like those unconventional supports to be harder. Like the people who play Annie as a support. Like I don't know how they
play Annie as a support. I've never heard of that.
You can play anyone that has like strong CC. They have like a secondary support. Like they call them. I've been listening to a new League podcast and we're talking about it, where it's basically your Annie, but you don't take the kills, and you use your abilities to get your stun ready, and then you stun the enemy for your AD carry. Like it's like it's kind of weird, but they say it works.
Yeah, it's very non-traditional. I don't think I would be able to do that because Annie is more of like a mid laner, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. It's very weird to me.
Yeah, it is. I've been listening to the podcast. It's pretty cool because they're very smart. They were talking about that. I'm like, no, and I'm like, how can I actually? Why am I disagreeing with them? They kind of.
I know, right? Yeah, no, I should totally check that out. That's cool.
You know, this week I would anyone that in the chat room, if you haven't played League of Legends, this week is a good week to play because the free hero rotation has some, I think, of my favorite characters that I want to play that I don't own, like Shyvana, like you said, Lucian, and Jinx.
Yeah, I want to try Jinx. I think if I were to like break out of playing support, I think Jinx would be the one that I would try.
You might like Lucian. He's actually like
Is that the vampire guy?
He's like the vampire hunter.
Oh,
Vladimir's a vampire guy.
Oh, Vladimir. Okay, that's
Lucian's a vampire hunter who shoots like he's like the paladin with like dual pistols.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. I used to watch this TV show called Soul Eater, and without getting into too much detail, there was a guy, and his weapons of choice were double pistols. I always thought that was pretty cool. Double pistols. I don't know. Anyways, when I was in the army, I got to fire a 9mm. 9mm? Yeah. And that was a blast. So I have this thing for pistols. I don't know. Don't judge me.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My wife is showing me a dress that she wants to buy.
Oh, it's okay. That's all right. I have to go.
Yeah, we have to get going. So thanks, everyone, for coming live. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll get some news or something. I think we're going to talk about the shoutcasted version. So we're going to all kind of hopefully get a chance to watch that a little bit and see the things we like. Have a great night. We'll see you around.
Bye, everybody. Oh, my gosh, I did it again. Bye, everybody.